Good morning.
And good morning. It is June 22nd. The year is almost half over.
I know.
We are episode 56 WRME Live, Wackert Realtors Main Edge in Mustang, serving the whole central Oklahoma area. Actually, we've got listings in Lawton, Texoma,
Everywhere.
one out of Shawnee. We work all over the state. Good morning, Christine. Good to see you here. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit today. Well, we got a little bit of rain this morning. It's nice and cool outside. Beautiful, beautiful day. Hopefully, we'll just have a few rainstorms, stuff like that. We won't have any tornadoes.
Crazy?
Yeah, nothing crazy.
We had a pretty good year this year with storms and everything. It wasn't too ridiculous.
We have skirted all the bad stuff, I think. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit today about our market. I tell you, our market is crazy out there, and if you're a buyer, you need to understand what you're dealing with. Okay,
Yes.
Especially if you're in the bread and butter houses, the 3-bed, 2-bath, 4-bed, anything,
150 range.
anything 150 to 250, especially the 150 to 200 range. You need to prepare to give the cleanest offer on. I'm not saying offer $10,000 over what they're asking, because a lot of times it won't appraise for $10,000 over what they're asking. Work with your realtor to really value the property, to make sure you're making a decent offer, but then make a clean offer. If you can, don't ask for closing costs if possible.
Or ask for as little as possible.
Yeah, or as little as possible. If you want this house, the chances are you're going to be in a multiple offer situation, especially if it's brand new on the market and it's a hot deal. You need to put a better amount of earnest money. That works on people psychologically as far as the seller goes. If they have one that's put 1% down, say $1,500 on a $150,000 house, and the next offer is put on $250 down earnest money, in Oklahoma, it favors the buyer. Almost always you're going to get your earnest money back if something goes wrong. Not always, but most of the time. If your realtor's doing everything right, you'll get your earnest money back if something goes south. But when the seller's looking at that, they're going to say, okay, these people are serious. They've put up $1,500,
right?
Versus $250 or $500. Don't ask for silly things, okay?
Exactly.
Just make it as clean and as easy for the agent on the other side, the seller's agent, to take care of it. And your chances of getting that property are greatly increased.
And if your lender says you can close in 30 to 40 days, don't put 25 days.
Right.
And don't put you need 50 days to close. Be realistic with the closing date also.
That's another reason a buyer needs to be picky on their lender.
Yes.
Because if they can close in 21 to 30 days,
that's awesome.
It is also, and there are lenders that can do that, okay? Especially if you've got everything pre-approved, everything's already done. I'm not talking just, okay, I got a letter that says, I can borrow this much money. I'm talking where you've done all your paperwork.
Yes.
They say, okay, today we can give you this loan for $150,000 without a whole bunch more documentation, okay? That's a real pre-approval.
So if they say they need 21 to 30 days, put 30-day closing, and then awesome if you can close earlier. Because lenders keep us updated. So if they think they can close 5 days early, they're going to let us know so we can let the title company know and make sure everyone's good with that.
Right.
But we don't want to put 20 days and then it take 25 days to close.
Right. And, if you're working closely with your realtor, you may even ask your realtor to call the listing realtor and ask them if there's a preference of when the people would like to close on the sale of their house. Sometimes they may not really want it to be gone until 60 days.
Right.
Okay? Maybe they're having a new build done and it won't be done. But, if you say, okay, it's got to be done in 30 days, which is great normally, but they can't be out for 60 days. That means they have to move into a motel or a short-term rental or something like that. And
which isn't always possible.
Right, yeah. And they're having to move twice. Everybody hates moving. Think about the sellers just a little bit when you're putting your stuff together. And if your realtor is doing good communication with the other side's realtor, you'll be able to say, okay, yeah, let's make our offer fit their criteria and, just make it cleaner. And a lot of times that weighs heavy on the seller's mind. They want it to be easier on them too, just like you want it to be easy on you. That's just the way it works.
Right. And be prepared to make an offer if you walk into that house and you're like, oh, we're pretty sure this is the one. It's okay to wait, but be prepared if you wait to decide overnight, that when you're deciding, someone else might put that offer in. Especially on those 150, like Carl said, to the 200 range. Those move really quickly. So
me and technology, sometimes I think it's just past me. Wait till you're 50-some years old and you're going like, what the crap? My granddaughter can manage my dadgum phone better than me. She gets on my iWatch and does things I don't even know how to find in this thing. She's 4 years old. How do you do that? Of course, I know she has these little tiny fingers, so she can do this. But, it is what it is. All right, multiple offer situations, I hesitate to get people into multiple offer situations if at all possible. It's stressful for everybody.
It is.
And it can make people bitter. And sometimes people wonder why their offer didn't get accepted and they never really get a good answer.
And we might not get a good answer.
Right, and that's very frustrating for us too, okay? Because we want you to have all the information. We want you to feel warm and fuzzy when everything is said and done. I tell you, multiple offers, that I just try to get every one of my buyers to, let's just do our highest and best and cleanest right now, right off the bat. Let's see if we can get this house. Because what's it worth to you as a buyer not to have to do this 2 or 3 more times? Okay.
And then they still got to understand too, sometimes that doesn't work. You could do a full price offer, no closing cost, closing in 30 days, and still be bid out.
Right.
And it be nothing more than it was cash, and supposedly they could close sooner, but they offered less. We can't justify what the sellers decide to take as an offer.
Now, you sellers out there that thinks because this is a great and wonderful seller's market, and it is, that you can get an extra $5,000 or $10,000 out of your house. Remember, this is all pretty much controlled by the appraisers, okay? And just because you maybe somebody offers you $10,000 over what you're asking, so they can get the best, or, get the deal. What if it doesn't appraise? And you're going to have to go right back down to where it was.
Right.
And then everybody's bitter. You're bitter. The buyers are bitter. But they're going to hit you up and say, okay, well, it only appraised for this. This is all we're going to give for it. If you've got a good realtor, and I'm trusting that you've investigated and says, I'm going to talk and know my realtor, they will run the numbers for you frontwards, backwards, sideways, so you can make the best selling decision. And I can tell you right now, houses that are priced properly, that are in conjunction with how they're going to be appraised, are selling boom, 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 just fast, okay?
And if one busts, it's not uncommon to get an offer quickly when it goes back, because people will watch.
Yeah,
if they're interested, they're going to watch it. If they missed out and the offer came in and they really liked it, they're going to sit there and watch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I guess the gist of this is get a good realtor and trust your realtor. I mean, a good realtor is going to be calling you and talking to you and giving you numbers and till your head swim, okay? But that's our job. We need to get you the data. You can look at Zillow and Realtor.com, all these others all day long, but that's just a general idea of what's going on out there.
We know the local market.
Right. And I love neighborhood experts. I was speaking at the new member orientation yesterday at Otmar. That's where all the new agents, they have to go through the orientation to get familiar with Otmar and NAR and all that other stuff.
Right.
And, one of the agents at one of our local companies here in town, he was he's just targeting one zip code, and he is really wanting to be the best guy in this zip code. And I love that, because if you can find the neighborhood expert, you've won half the battle right there, because they know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, what else have we got today?
We got some open houses.
Open houses. All right.
Tomorrow we got one from 2 to 4 at 5204 Northwest 161st Terrace in Edmond. And then Sunday the 24th from 1 to 3, 301 North Rock Avenue in El Reno.
Rock Island or Rock Avenue?
Maybe it's Rock Island.
I think it's Rock Island.
Hold on.
Rock Island.
I got it up. Rock Island Avenue. Yes, Carl's correct.
All right. So, goodness gracious. Here I am back on the technology. Yeah, a lot of times, B. Hooper chimed in here. A lot of time it does make sense to do an appraisal before you list a house, okay? So everybody's on the same page. When I do a premier listing, I do a home inspection and an appraisal up front, okay? But remember, that appraisal can't be used by the buyer, okay? Their lender's going to require their own appraisal, but generally it's going to come in right in what you already have. So if you priced it correctly according to appraisal, and you fixed everything on your home inspection report, man, it should go.
But understand that home inspection, their job is to find stuff that's wrong with the house, and just because one found something doesn't mean they didn't miss something that another one might notice. So there's a lot to look at in these houses, and
absolutely
things can be missed or looked over. So it's not that one inspector did a bad job compared to another. It's just that they might have missed something.
That's a whole other topic. Home inspectors, I'm a little frustrated with the home inspection this week. A totally remodeled house, brand new water heater, but they recommend 10 gallons more because it has 4 beds. Okay. But it's brand new. It's all as built. Okay. So now the buyer thinks they have to have a 50-gallon instead of a 40-gallon water heater. Okay. It's just like, okay, well, dude, it's brand new. That's what's always been in there. But people, it is what it is.
It is. Well, we'll get into that another day.
Yep.
Appraisals and home inspections.
I guess we probably ought to start wrapping this up. Once again, we're Weichert Realtors Main Edge. Guys, leave some comments down here. Send us an email, wrme@mainedge.com. If you have a topic that you'd like for us to discuss, post it down here or email it, and or you can call us, 405-445-7522. We have folks here at the office every day. If you're a realtor looking for a better place to work, give us a call. This is where we do Weichert Realtors Main Edge, Mustang, Oklahoma, where we do real life, real world real estate every day.
Bye.
Bye.